Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Our lifestyle is our medicine. The foods we eat, air we breathe, water we drink, exercise we get, rest that we have, relationships that we keep, stress we manage, all those are our major lifestyle choices that we make every day. And so the question is, are you making good ones or are you making not so good ones? Because those choices are going to determine the kind of health you have. Really is important. Our lifestyle providers are always here to help you. And so you can check that out at the website, find someone to help you in your area. Lisa in Shreveport, Louisiana sent us an email. Says, my mom has been diagnosed with hepatitis C. What do I need to do? Hep C is a little bit of a challenge. Everybody hears it and they get a little bit concerned, and rightfully so. I can understand that. The big thing is have her follow whatever treatment her doctor's got her doing. You know, that's one you really don't want to get around and freewheel. You really want to, the standard protocols are very, very important to follow for that. And Hep C goes dormant quite a bit. So unless there's a heavy amount of stress or just the environmental aspects, or even the nutritional aspects of the body are not in good shape, then a lot of times Hep C is not super active. So that's one thing you can be excited about, is the fact that Hep C is easily controlled. The medications that are out now are very, very good and can be very helpful for anyone dealing with that. So yeah, be encouraged. One thing you want to look at is how to manage the immune system. Okay, that's really, really big piece for that. Hepatitis C being so challenging, and it used to have a much stronger connotation to it than it does now. So be encouraged, because a lot of times the standard medical treatment is really good. And I'm a huge natural guy and a lot of things I talk about, but there are certain things that the medical model has really got nailed, and this is one of them. So I would talk to your doctor, get multiple opinions if you'd like, but one thing is I would follow regular treatment. I think it's a smart move, but also you've got to do things to build your immune system, or her immune system rather. So you just want to look at things like an anti-inflammatory diet. You want to make sure that there are plenty of antioxidants. And when they're giving her antivirals, you want to do everything you can to not stimulate more viral activity. So there's a whole list of viral stimulating foods on our website. When you go to my website, look under topics, and there are just hundreds of articles in there when you go to the website based on all of this. So it's really, really good and will be very helpful to you. Okay, but keep us posted on that. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Let's go to the phones and kick off with Mary. Hi, Mary.
Yeah, my doctor's trying to figure out if I have this condition called giant cell arteritis. And we go back and forth with the prednisone, and when I lower it, my SID rate goes up and my CRP goes up. But then when I take 40 or 50 milligrams of the prednisone, I'm not too much improvement in my symptoms. But right now, I'm taking 15, and I have horrible dizziness and headaches and all the symptoms. And then I did get my results today, and they were high, and they were elevated again. So the doctor is trying to make sure I don't have another infection somewhere in my body, like a sinus or something else. He said it sounded like I had sinusitis right now. So I was going to ask you, what are the symptoms of sinusitis?
Well, it can be different for different people, but mainly you got the runny nose, you can have stuffiness, a lot of pressure that's constant, because remember, itis is an inflammation. So when the sinuses are inflamed, they become swollen and red. But one of the big keys you have to look at is why that's even happening. And one of the main reasons that sinusitis is consistent many times is we think about histamine. Okay, well, histamine is produced by the mast cells, the basophils, in our blood and our stomach. And so what happens is these excess histamine is built up when our body's not breaking down proteins very well. That's one of the main reasons we have sinusitis. You have allergies and even a lot of the asthma that we see is because of the foods we're eating every single day is creating so much that the body is not breaking foods down effectively. The proteins aren't breaking down very well. When that happens, then we seem to get a lot of issue with it, and that's where you see a lot of chronic sinusitis. So people that eat a lot of wheat products and dairy products, if they're highly allergic to them and just don't know it, or they have maybe a middle grade allergy to them where they can kind of get by, things are okay, but at the end of the day, they don't feel great when they eat those foods, but they eat those every day. They just think they're part of their staple diet. That's where you start getting a major issue with it. And that's where the challenge comes with the sinusitis, is because even though you're trying to treat it, you're working on treating it, the underlying daily lifestyle choices that you're doing, you're thinking that it's just the cat dander or the pollen, but it's your underlying everyday habits that's really wreaking havoc in that area. And that's where a lot of the challenge happens and what you have to really look at. So that's one of the big pieces, that when you're dealing with sinusitis, there are things like proteolytic enzymes that are really good, helpful to break down the foods and can help cut down a lot of the histamine. That makes a difference. And also one thing to look at, which I think is vital and very important, especially with sinusitis, is making sure you can get into fruit like bromelain. Pineapple, it's a fantastic way to go, really is. But I would look into some of those items and get a gut healthy. When the gut is healthy, everything seems to be healthy. Okay, that's where it all starts. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to InShapeNetwork.com. That's InShapeNetwork.com. That's where everything is. Of course, if you're looking for articles, we have all kinds of articles. Click on topics, and you can find a lot of what we talk about here on the show and our newsletters that go out, different things that I write about, talk about. It's all there and all listed at the website. That can really be a help to you and encourage you along the way and help you get where you need to go with your health and your life. So there's a lot of conditions. Clinical depression is a hot topic. It really is. We're seeing it more and more. As a matter of fact, it's the number one prescribed medication are the antidepressants, the SSRIs. I mean, it is a huge business. And a lot of people struggle with it. They really do. It becomes a big challenge for so many. So there's a lot of conditions that can feel like clinical depression, but it's really not. Okay, so you got irritability, a lot of the feelings that people have, insomnia, decreased appetite, loss of interest. But here's some things that can really cause that. Number one is vitamin D deficiency. Get your vitamin D checked. It's a big one. The other one is hypothyroidism. If you're hypothyroid, it can seem like you might be depressed, but it really may not be. Low blood sugar, if you deal with diabetes at any level, or hypoglycemia, people that have blood sugar fluctuations can really mimic depression. Dehydration, not getting enough fluids. Food intolerances and allergies can be a super major issue for a lot of toxins that can build up. And caffeine withdrawal, the caffeine blues, sometimes can be that as well. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health, your life. Remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. It's about lifestyle. So the choices we make today can and will determine the kind of health we're going to have tomorrow. And again, it's about lifestyle. So our choices matter each and every day. We want to help you make the right ones. If you haven't found a lifestyle provider, someone in your area that believes the same way we do, all this nutrition and lifestyle-based care we talk about, go to the website. And then, of course, our team members are always standing by to help you. And maybe you need some help picking out what kind of foods to eat, or maybe it's just you don't know how to exercise for your body type, or maybe you got some new blood work back and the results are a little off and you don't really understand it, need somebody to explain it to you. Well, our team members are always there to help you. We got great physicians that are all around and providers around the country that can help you get the help you need. That's really what it's all about. We want to help you do that. That's for sure. Remember, your lifestyle choices are your medicine, right? Each and every day. That's your foundation. It really is important. There's 6 ways to eat less without feeling deprived. One of the big issues I think we have in America today is that we jump in and, of course, our portion sizes are enormous. I mean, only us in America would come up with the idea of supersize, right? And so that's just the reality of it. And it will cut your lifespan more than anything when you eat too many calories that your body can't utilize. That's a big, big deal. So I want to jump into some ways to eat less without feeling deprived in a minute. But first I want to go to the phones and talk to Susan. Hi, Susan.
I'm getting off of Lexapro. So I've stopped taking it. I was down to the smallest dose. However, I'm getting sort of jitters and tingling. It almost feels like withdrawal symptoms. And I think that my blood pressure is starting to go up also, which wasn't a problem before this.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever you want to make a transition, right? Whenever you start to make that shift to with what you're talking about, there becomes a bit of a challenge with it. And coming off medications of any kind, you've got to do it. Some you can just come off of, right? But your doctor's going to guide you in it. And some it takes a little bit of time and takes a little bit more work to do that. So you have to be a little bit cautious in what you do and how you do it. So you just want to set a good environment. This is for any coming off the meds environment, I guess you will. It's always good to create the right atmosphere for it. Number one is you got to have good lifestyle choices. All right. So you want to make sure you're exercising at least 4 to 5 days a week. Walking 10 to 15 minutes is great. And your eating habits. Very good. So, because here's the deal. For whatever reason, if you're, let's say it's blood pressure, okay, you want to come down off your blood pressure med, whenever you're coming off the medications, if it is blood pressure and you're not exercising, you're not even doing your body a good justice of setting the environment for it, right? Or even if it's weight loss, let's say you've already lost 10 pounds, but you're not exercising every day and you're eating high sodium foods, which hopefully you wouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I mean, you let's say your environment's not right. Your eating habits have got to be great, along with making sure that every other aspect of the environment is healthy. So it's just important to keep everything as balanced as possible when you're coming off medications. Having some guidance is extremely important. I would not do it without someone's help. And don't read something on the internet and just go do it yourself. That's just really, really not a good way to do it. As a matter of fact, I don't advise on that at all. I don't think it's wise. So that's what I would do first and foremost. But yeah, there are different withdrawal symptoms that you can experience, and it just depends on the medication. But at the end of the day, your lifestyle habits, your eating and exercise, key. Your rest is key, regardless of how you do it and what drug you're coming off of. Okay, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. Give us a call or go to that website, InShapeNetwork.com. So when we eat, a lot of times we eat so much to feel satisfied. And one of the big things people talk about with dieting, which I don't really like the term diet, but yet dieting is what we end up calling it. The dieting is a challenge because you don't feel like you're eating enough, or the foods don't taste that good, or you just don't feel satisfied, right? So here's the number one thing you can do is portion control. So you do half now and half later rule. So it's a very effective strategy that a lot of people use. And again, we've used it with patients and clients. But if you order a sandwich, or let's say you eat a chicken breast and some vegetables and whatnot, eat half of it, carry half of it home, and eat half later. Okay, so the portion control is really good. Now, another way to balance your portions is to balance the plate. So, for example, if you're eating a meal of a protein, carbohydrate, and a fat, you'll feel fuller longer. So the protein stabilizes your blood sugar. Carbs, you want to get slow to digest fiber like beans, which are rich in the metabolism boosting B vitamins. And then the fat really helps to satiate the belly and the brain. So when you I always say eat a protein, a fat, and a carbohydrate together. And if you do that, it really does balance it. So go to bed. Here's another one too. Is when you're low on energy, or when you stay up late, your body's going to crave a lot more of the foods that you don't need to be eating, right? So the body, when you go to sleep and you get good sleep, the body's ghrelin mechanism, which leptin is the full hormone, ghrelin it's the hunger hormone. So if you think about ghrelin, think about your stomach growling. That's ghrelin. When that happens, then it ultimately can lead to a lot of weight gain and a lot of health issues. So the way to counteract it, though, they found, if you're really high energy or you've got a lot going on in your life, exercise. Exercise really is medicine. I've really come, we call it now exercise science. There's a whole exercise prescription idea that people are using now in clinical practice. We use that. It really is, man. It is such a great tool for someone that's under a lot of stress. I know I use it for me. I mean, I go 100 miles an hour, as you can imagine. And I've exercised my whole life, it seems like. I mean, I've always been active, and it's been a major player for me. It really has. And we use it for patients, too. Another one is downsize your dinnerware. That's the whole idea of smaller plates. You don't put as much food on it, right? Those humongous plates that we have in the South. I mean, we have huge plates in the South, right? Downsize your plates and your silverware. That's another great tool for portion control. More Healthy Talk Radio. Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Food is powerful. The foods we put inside of our body each and every day, they become our body. And I have learned more and more than ever that our food is medicine. It is. And I like to highlight different foods just to talk about what they can do, how powerful they are. And it's funny because a lot of the medications that we see today are derived from plant-based sources. Matter of fact, we see a lot of those coming from the plants themselves, and it's pretty amazing at how that happens. So our food is medicine in so many different ways. And so we have to realize that so much of what we do with our eating habits determine the kind of health we're going to have. And that's what we talk about here so often. So I want to talk about a powerful nut that is, I think personally, it's the healthiest out of all of them. Like when you read the research, they're all good. All tree nuts and nuts and seeds and all that have all kinds of different benefits. But this one is, in my opinion, one of the tops. And if you can add this into your diet on a regular basis, I think you'll see some really good benefits. It's something that I attempt to put in my diet on a regular basis. And we're talking about nothing more than walnuts. Walnuts are powerful. They've been studied and evaluated in the research for all kind of benefits. Number one are circulatory benefits. Vascular reactivity is what's talked about. And so just a handful of these nuts, let me just tell you this. 1 ounce is about a handful. 1 ounce is about 25 pieces, which equates to about 15 grams of fat, which is nothing. I mean, we need to be taking in, depending on your body weight, I always say about 0.55 times your body weight or something along those lines. It really is important. If you do times, it equals about, I would say about at least 0.45 times your body weight. Depends on if you're an athlete or not. But yeah, I mean, it's extremely important to do the right amount. 0.45, 0.55, it just depends. And when you do the right amount of fats in your diet, It does so much. I mean, it helps your hormone levels. It helps so much of your overall vitality. Okay, your hormones, your energy levels. It's a great energy source, believe it or not. The brain loves fat, functions well. And the brain loves glucose, but also can run well on fat too. So it's one of those keys that you have to consider. And also, when you're thinking about disease and fighting against a lot of these health challenges, food is so powerful. And walnuts are one of the tops. It's one of my, in fact, I love about it. It's so strong in the anti-inflammatory aspect of it. Keeps the flexibility of our blood vessel walls very much intact. They can help reduce a lot of the metabolic syndrome that we see in the U.S. 1 in 4 adults have what we call metabolic syndrome, or METS. And it's a disease. Well, we call it a disease, but it's really a constellation of a lot of issues that overlap each other. So it's kind of a multitude of things. It's high blood pressure, high triglycerides, or what we call high fats in the blood, okay? High triglycerides, blood pressure, inadequate HDL cholesterol, and obesity. So it's waist circumference and body mass index. So recent studies have shown that approximately 1 ounce of walnuts daily over a period of about 2 to 3 months can reduce several of these MET-related issues. So abdominal fat, or abdominal adiposity, as we say, is something that we have to look at with this. It's interesting when you look at it overall, because the treatment of so many different medications can be not only just helped but supported by eating walnuts every day. So a handful of walnuts every single day has been shown to decrease abdominal adiposity, the weight, the spare tire, okay, by about 6%. That's pretty amazing, right? No other nuts have that in the studies. And so type 2 diabetes is another big one. So you want to regulate blood sugar. Type 2 diabetes is a big one that we see, and there's a variety of different measurements in blood vessel functioning. But a 1 to 2 ounces, it's a couple handfuls, 1 to 2 handfuls of walnuts every single day, can help lower the LDL cholesterol. That's technically the bad one, and raise the good one. A lot of anti-cancer benefits, too, are really kicking into gear. So with the wide variety of antioxidant, anti-inflammatory nutrients that are found in walnuts, it's really not surprising to see the research that shows measurable anti-cancer benefits. Chronic inflammation is there. And what's also interesting about it is that about 3 ounces a day, so for prostate cancer, it's evidence a little bit more on the stronger side, but for breast cancer, even more, that for these two cancers, strong anti-cancer benefits with eating walnuts on a regular basis. So pretty amazing. Other health benefits too, a lot of anti-inflammatory nutrients in walnuts play a special role in the theme of bone health. So recent studies shown that a large amount of walnuts can decrease blood levels of these telopeptides, which can affect basically our DNA, and the collagen components in these can be a strong indicator and can actually, which I find this really interesting. Remember, food is medicine. All right, we're talking about walnuts. And look how just 1 ounce, one handful of these nuts every single day can do so much with your cardiovascular health. They can help with type 2 diabetes. They can prevent metabolic syndrome. They can cause you to drop 6% in your waistline. I mean, that's amazing. Anti-inflammatory benefits. And the other piece is that it can increase bone density. This is pretty amazing. So you think about, okay, well, if I drink my milk, I'm going to have stronger bones, right? More bone density. Well, it's not the case. They're finding now that even eating walnuts, because the high omega-3 fatty acids are having in them now tons of fatty acids. That, as a matter of fact, is the highest. So if you think about fish oil and how good that is for you, a handful of walnuts every single day is a high amount, super high amounts of omega-3 fats that can help. Plus, they have melatonin in them. And the melatonin can help you get deeper stages of sleep at night. For example, cherries have a lot of melatonin in them, but they're saying that walnuts now have quite a bit of melatonin and can help in the sleep cycle, but also in the anti-cancer benefits because of that. So it's pretty amazing when you start looking at walnuts and what they can do. The benefits are amazing. Now, one thing too, you got to think about fiber. Okay, now fiber, when you're looking at something like walnuts, you got to look at fiber content. Now, I shoot for, and we're talking food is medicine right now. Food is medicine. Walnuts contain about 7 or 8 grams of fiber in 1 ounce. So you get a pretty good amount of that. But our overall fiber intake should be around, I personally think, about 40 grams a day. Now, I shoot myself for about 50 grams. There's a new study that came out that talked about how important fiber is. And when you're getting fiber, for every 10 grams of fiber you take in, you drop your overall, the percentage rate for colon cancer, which is the second leading cause of cancer in the U.S. You drop your colon cancer rate down by 50%. So for every 10 grams, for me it'd be 50% because I shoot for 50 grams a day. But for every 10 grams of fiber, you drop it 10%. Okay? So if you're getting 30 or 40 grams of fiber, that's 30 to 40% reduction in the risk of colon cancer just by getting in your fiber. Now, you can't just eat a bunch of fiber and eat a bunch of junk food, right? So the quality of your food matters too. But I find that interesting because walnuts have such a high content of fiber in them and so much nutrient-rich density in them as well. And so increasing that into your normal routine is extremely important. I would encourage you to make sure you're getting enough of the healthy fats in. They are so important, and we don't get enough of them. We really don't. If you look at your diet each and every day and you really analyze what you're putting in, you'd be amazed that you're not really getting those omega-3 fats. We do a blood test in all of our clinics and with our clients and patients, and it's an omega-3 fatty acid test, and it's so amazing. So vitamin D testing is really big, and it's been really popular over the last 10 years. We've learned how important vitamin D is to so many different aspects of our body. But when you start talking about walnuts and you start talking about fatty acids, omega-6, omega-3, omega-9, it's interesting to see how deficient we really are in the omega-3 fats. I mean, it is amazing. So you can do a simple little test that will check and see what your omega-3 levels are. And then through that, you can see the balance between the omega-3, 6s, and 9s, and you'll be shocked. I mean, I had someone the other day who just didn't really eat omega-3 fats at all. They wouldn't eat nuts. I couldn't get them to eat walnuts. And they came in and they had a really, really serious medical condition. And our medical directors and our team members, we have multiple physicians in our clinics. We all collaborate as a team for people's individualized care. And so we were collaborating on that and looking at it. And when we saw the omega-3 test, it was at rock bottom. And this person, I don't know, you never have a crystal ball, right? But you always wonder what would have happened to this person had they had high levels of omega-3 fats over the years so their body could really do well. And that's the amazing piece of it. And so it's interesting when you look at it, at what really is there. So walnuts are powerful. So just to recap, walnuts, food is medicine. We're talking about walnuts, cardiovascular benefits, reduces inflammation. They're great for reducing metabolic syndrome, cutting down the cholesterol, the triglycerides, and also cutting down 6% of your waistline. You want to get a trim waistline, eat walnuts every day. Type 2 diabetes, one of the number one foods to ward it off. Anti-cancer benefits we know with colon, breast, and prostate. And then another increases bone density. It's one of the best sources of omega-3 fatty acids that we have outside of fish oil. And so, again, an ounce, a handful of these walnuts every single day can make a tremendous impact in your health. It's simple. Food is medicine. Did you know that you can listen to the ASA RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
That's 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health, your life. Remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. It is about lifestyle. So our choices really do matter. And they don't get any care. They'll go get an x-rays and maybe think nothing's broken and be fine. And years later, that we get them in our clinics, the Center for Lifestyle Medicine, they end up coming in. When there's so many benefits, if you do get injured at any level, you have to get some type of injury rehab to really get your body back where it needs to be. And so, the great thing about it is that usually it gets covered completely by your auto insurance. They'll cover everything. They have these personal injury protection policies that cover everything at 100%. You don't pay anything. And so you can really get quality care. I would encourage you to take the time out. If you do get injured, if you have a slip and fall, if you have any type of injury of any kind, it's one of those deals that if you're injured at any level, you want to get the right help. And again, it's about lifestyle, right? If you're injured, you can't exercise the way you want to. And if you're injured and your body's not functioning well, then you can't really think about health and wellness, which is a big key. And so I'm really big on injury rehab. I think it's very important. Check those guys out. Louisville, Kentucky, we've got one. Winston send us an email. It says, I'm a marathon runner, and I have noticed I get very tired after my morning run. Should I start running at night? Well, I think it's a good idea. I think that you can look at running at night. I think it's a wise choice to do. I mean, one of the things, if you're just running, period, I'm excited, right? If you're just exercising at all, I get excited. One of the things you got to, with running, I think it's a rhythm, and you have to find your rhythm, right? You have to find what works great for you. And what works great for your schedule. I mean, that's really the best piece of it that you have to figure out and understand is what works best for your body type and your schedule and the way you like to do things. And once you figure that out, I think that's the rhythm. It's better to do that than to force it, right? To work out at a time when, or to run at a time when you don't like it, when it's not convenient, when your body's not accepting it very well. You want to be in a place where you're thriving, not just barely making it. And so that's one of the big pieces of it, is to make sure that you do it when you love it. That's the big key, right? Because you'll continue, if you do that, you'll continue to do it, and you'll be consistent. And that's where you get the best results. It really, really is. 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. Give us a call or go to the website, InShapeNetwork.com. Your mom was right. A good night's sleep can help keep you healthy. It is. I keep hitting sleep a lot, but I'm telling you, man, it's a big deal. It really is. Scientists have confirmed it. Good night's sleep can keep colds and other infections at bay. Matter of fact, it's 28% higher for those who get regular shut-eye and sleep well than those who don't. For the other infections, including the flus and all that, short sleepers had 80% higher odds of having an infection over those who slept around 8 hours. So people who sleep 5 or fewer hours on average are substantially increased risk for both colds, whether head or chest or infections or others. And again, Eric Pranther, who's an assistant professor of psychology at the University of California, San Francisco, said the researchers also found that people who have sleep disorders or other have told their physician that they have sleep troubles about 30% of the time. Experts can't say for sure why lack of sleep helps, but they know that it increases the overall immune system. And that's what it does. I mean, they're not listing it, but they know that it affects T cells, and well, that has to do with the immune system. So we know it. We know it does. And most people will tell you that you can even do 7 hours and be okay, but it all depends on your body's adaptability and how well your lifestyle choices are on a regular basis. I mean, if you're eating healthy and you're exercising well, then that's kind of a check off of the list. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right kind of things, and you're eating the right kind of foods, and you're exercising and getting the rest. It all goes together. It really does. But the findings were all in the Journal of the American Medical Association recently, but they said that those that slept, other factors such as lack of exercise could help explain it too. The data suggests that sleep may be altering the immune function in some way overall, and that's what they seem to find to be the most challenging with so many is that. So people can become better sleepers. You just have to set a time during the day to make that happen. And really, that's the key, more than just about anything else. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website InShapeNetwork.com. If you're looking for a lifestyle provider, someone in your area that believes the same way we do, all this nutrition and lifestyle-based care we talk about, then go to the website. You can easily find someone to help you go to the next level with your health and your life. Emma in Jonesboro, Arkansas says, what's the best advice for sciatic nerve pain? You know, I tell you what, sciatic nerve pain comes along the lines of that injury rehab. There's usually an injury of some kind to the sciatic nerve. There's irritation, there's inflammation, and that can easily be worked at with a chiropractic physician or some form of lifestyle medicine-based rehab that can really help. So I would check that into some of that, maybe get to our website, go see one of our clinics, the Center for Lifestyle Medicine, and get some help that you need. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producer, Jay Patrick, engineer John Garrison, and the rest of the team. Go tell one person something you learned on this show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you get well, stay well, and live well, where we're diagnosing hope one person at a time.
Did you know you could listen to the ASA RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the ASA RX audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.